Hello, everybody. Coach Jimmy K here from CoachJimmyK.com. If you're looking at this video, it's because you're interested. You're curious about the RifeWAVZ bone conduction system. Now, I want to share a little history with you. Years ago, I was doing webinars weekly, and I also had a health and wellness center in North Carolina. And in that health and wellness center, I had a bed. It's called the Vibe 3.1. $6,500. That's how much it cost. And what it does is it puts sound into your body, reverberates sound into your body. Different sounds, Rife frequencies, solfeggio frequencies, all kinds of different frequencies into your body. But a lot of people don't have $6,500 sitting around. So they said, Coach, can you research, look around and find something that has Rife frequencies, something that is therapeutic, that can help us with self-care, trying to address health issues, chronic and acute issues, health issues. And so I looked around and I found a product called WaveWatch. And what it was a little wrist speaker. Pretty much what it was an MP3. Like if you go to the gym and you have that little square thing that you put a sleeve over on your shoulder and you tuck it in there and you got your wired headbuds, or earbuds or Bluetooth earbuds, and you're listening to music as you're getting your groove on in the gym. So it was an MP3 with a base that had watch straps. So it was born the WaveWatch, okay? It was a great concept. Okay, and Linda, she did a great job. Okay, there was a lot of bugs in it and all, and of course, we went through all that. I sold it for years and years and years for and all, but there's always something better. Okay, it's just like chicken. You sit there, you take Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay, Kentucky Fried Chicken's been around for decades. But Chick-fil-A right now blows any chicken on the planet off the planet. I mean, it's just their product, consistency, customer service. See, all these things go into the magic mix. And so eventually, a few years down the road, even though I helped build that business by selling the product, by marketing the product worldwide, okay, they didn't want to do business with Coach anymore. So I was real busy working with several other projects. In fact, I manufacture my own products. This device right here is called the Matrix R3. It's a microcurrent skenar device that is electricity, okay? So this is on my website, CoachJimmyK.com. It's called the Matrix R3. Relax, restore, regenerate. That's what this is. But I talked to my engineer buddy and I said, listen, if we were to build something similar, create something similar with Rife frequencies, similar to the WaveWatch. I don't want to be a watch, okay? I don't want a copier. I want to do something better. I mean, I want the Starship Enterprise. I want the awesome, okay? He said, well, he says, I can create an app. He says, and what I would suggest us do is to use bone conduction speakers. See, in the WaveWatch, they're air speakers. Just like the bottom of your phone, your cell phone, it spits out air. Whenever you hear the sound, you put it up to your lip and it's going, that is air, just like speakers in general. Bone conduction has transducers that are pulsing, thrusting, reverberating moves of the frequency. And then whenever that touches bone, it goes into the bone and it travels throughout the bone. So I was like, interesting. I said, so let's look at it. So I would call him Baby E, Baby Einstein. The guy's got more brains in his right earlobe than I have ever in my entire brain. And so thus we created RifeWAVZ. RifeWAVZ bone conduction therapy, technology, whatever you want to call it. And so we created a wrist speaker. This is called a transducer. Okay, I can show you. You can see the little mark right there. That's the logo. And you can see the thickness of it. And so what it does is it has a speaker in there. It's not spitting out air like the Weight Watch. It's going whoa, 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 whoa. So you don't have that high-pitched thing that grinds on you with the Weight Watch, because that's an air speaker. This is a transducer. It's humming the frequencies. And doesn't matter whether you put it on the right wrist, left wrist, ankle, anywhere you want to put it on, it's going to do the job. It's really nice if you keep it on bone, just like you sit here and you've got that bone right there, place it near that bone, because what happens is it will take that sound throughout the skeletal network, just like an antenna. And so thus RifeWAVZ began. And Baby E said, now I'll draw the schematics, the design of it, and then I'll also write the app, create the app. So the app on the Android is proprietary. It's our app. We created it, designed it. We didn't pay China or somebody in India or whatever to put something in a computer AI and write an app for $5. You know, this thing took months, about a year and a half in development. And then he said, but what you need to do is you need to connect with your clinics around the world and talk to them about the clinical Rife frequencies that they have, that they get results with. So I called in favors, and we got a bunch of frequencies. In fact, 9,600 frequencies to start off with. And then we put it through an algorithm in the computer. I don't know what he did. All I know is it filtered out duplicates. So that brought us down to 6,300 frequencies, Rife frequencies. Now, all of these are clinically tried and true, okay? Gotten results for decades, okay? Now, again, we don't diagnose, we don't treat, heal, or cure anything. We just direct you to technologies, sound, vibration, light, all kinds of stuff that helps the body get what it needs. Think about the old Popeye cartoon. Brutus was beating Popeye to a pulp. And then Popeye would say, Olive, give me my, and she would give him his spinach. And he'd pop the can and swallow it. Doot, doot. He became super, okay? Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm dating myself a little bit there. But so these technologies give you what you need to address issues naturally. You don't have to go on the pill caravan. One pill leads to 2 side effects, leads to 3 pills, and on and on and on, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-allopathic, okay? There's a time and a place for every doctor in the world, okay? But, you know, we want to be healthy and have the opportunity to do things naturally and live longer, live healthier. And that's what our, mission is to give you these technologies. So as we were putting this together, he said, well, you know that the wrist transducer, okay, that's one thing. But they have headphones that you can go and put around and drop on the side of your head right here, and you can see. And what happens is it doesn't go in your ear. These are bone conduction where they sit right in front of your ear on the temple bone, or the temple's up here, but the jawbone, the mandibular right here. And it sends that frequency into your brain. So then years ago, Dr. Patrick Porter Brain Tap, okay, great product, helps a lot of people with anxiety, depression, all kinds of health issues, cognitive. It deals with binaural beats and isochronic tones. And so what we did was we started looking out and researching on that aspect. And so we have 458 programs that address a whole lot of cognitive stuff. And there's also programs in there like the Tibetan bowls, spa music, whenever you go into like day spas and they have that relaxing, soothing music. We also have earthing, like the Schumann frequency that plays through here. I had a practitioner the other night. I was talking to her. First time she ever put it on. She unboxed it. I was on the phone with her. And I told her, I said, go into the restore or the restore and go down to earthing and play those. And she said, like within seconds, like less than a minute, she went from all tensed up to just relaxed, just in a state of bliss. Like somebody gave her a shot of whatever, neuro knockout toxin or something like that. You know, so not only do you have the Rife, now on the Rife frequencies, we have over 2,500 where the WAVE initially started with 850 with the original square one. Then during the square one, she bumped it up to 1,000, and you had to pay extra to get the extra card with the 250 more. And then she created 2.0, which is the round one. But when she did that with the WAVE, she took the option to create your own favorites folder. Because people love that, okay? They want the automated stuff. That's great. That's fine. But they also want to choose what they want to put in their body. Just like going to the buffet. You know, you got a buffet, you can choose whatever you want on there. You go to, imagine you going to a buffet and they got all this food there, but they say, no, you can only eat from this salad section. You can't have none of the seafood, none of the steak, none of the desserts, none of that. Nope, nope, nope. You only get this. So then everybody raised Cain about that. They didn't like that one bit. And so what the new WAVE that they released a few months ago did was they added 6 folders. So originally it was 3 folders. Now you can create 6 folders. But RifeWAVZ allows you to create 20 folders, okay? 20 folders instead of 6, okay? Instead of 1,200 frequencies in the WAVE we have 2,500 plus. And we have the binaural beats, the solfeggio, the Tibetan bowls, the isochronic tones that are heard in the headset, and you can play them on the wrist. Either way, you can play either or. You can play the Rife in the ear or the wrist, or you can play the sound tracks in the ear or the wrist, okay? It's very, very versatile, okay? And so now I want to show you what you would get if you purchase this. So it's going to come in a little nice little, remember the Crown Royal, the burgundy, I think it was burgundy or purple, no, the purple bags, okay? And everybody saved those purple bags because they were so cool. I'm dating myself again. So this is a black felt bag. So we go and we open it up and we have a hard case EVA protective case, 7x7. And then we're going to unclip it. It's going to come with the charger cables. It'll come with the charger brick for the cables. It'll come with the magnetic, because the wrist transducer is kind of like Apple Watches. It has the magnetic hookup on the back of it to where you plug it in and it charges it through the magnetic hookup. And then we have the Android. So when we turn that on, click the button right there and it comes on. And then we can see, oh, this is files and stuff. So it has audio. So let's go and do, let's say we're going to go to experimental. And experimental gives us acute, chronic, detox, female, germs, kids, light, male, on and on and on and on. This is an Android device. One full charge, you can leave this puppy playing for 3 days straight until the battery runs out. 3 days straight. Okay. Now the headset and the wrist lasts about, I think, 4 to 8 hours, depending on how loud you have it. And then the headset lasts, if you just have it at a regular volume, lasts about 12 hours, 8 to 12 hours, you know. And you can recharge them. You can play this while you're charging this, and then charge this while you're playing this, you know. But the base package has the Android device and the wrist transducer. And then you can buy the Premier package, which has the headset included. And then we also have a 2-year extended warranty. So that gives you 3 years, 3 years coverage on the headset, the Android, and the wrist transducer. So it's a great, and also the big thing about that, with the warranty is that we are going to have an upgrade in probably about a year. Just let you know ahead of time. And in that upgrade, there are going to be more Rife frequencies added to the list, probably 1,000 more. Okay? There's going to be more audio tracks added to the audio file. And then in the preset, right now, ours has 30 preset folders for 30 major health issues that people really focus on. And so we'll probably bump up that to maybe 50 preset folders. And then where we have 20 folders for your favorites, we'll probably bump that up too. So that upgrade, if you purchase the extended warranty, is included in the warranty. So you get a free upgrade whenever we do upgrade it. Okay. So, you know, it's a great product. I mean, everybody that got it on the first wave, we're out of stock right now. But if you want to, you can pre-order. You can go to the website. You can order it right now. And then chronologically, when we get it in 30 to 45 days, we will handle whoever ordered, whoever